One need not be a chamber to be haunted. Emily Dickinson. Hello everybody, I'm Mica Manticore, and this is Perfectly Ordinary Ghosts. I found this game a while ago on itch. It said that it was... What did it say it was? It says it was a horror game, but it was like an environmental horror game. Like, not necessarily jump scares and all that, but like basically an interactive novel almost. So I'm excited to try it out. There are no cicadas here. Pushed against a damp cliff and shaded by dripping ferns, the house holds its own against the humidity of summer. Orange and violet waves streak the sky above the nearby pine forest. Beyond that, the dark mountains sit shimmering. At night, there are no lights past the city boundaries. The heat makes minds warm. There are no walls to keep your back to. The main room has long, unsettled proportions, windows covering every angle, each corner a corridor to peer down. Accidental remains clutter the room: a desk, a chair, a stack of vinyl, no record player. At the cold end of the room is the dining table, framed by large French doors that look out over the hills. Salt and pepper shakers shaped like ghosts sit next to the bouquets of dried dead flowers. The view is spectacular on a clear day. The threadbare kitchen is scrubbed to be respectable, and the lights are kept on to scare away the mice. I can still hear them scrabbling and scratching, though, somewhere under the undulating floor. Sometimes it feels like there's something bigger, a bump or a creak. Dull thuds that knock from under the house. A creature untwisting itself in the dry dirt. Standing in the kitchen gives a clear view through the entryway to the bathroom. Down the darkened hall of flicking, uneasy shadows, I see myself as the dark figure in the mirror, the yawning emptiness of the main room behind me. The view is spectacular on a clear day. The previous owner left only a gauzy white curtain over the doors. It spans the entire wall, blending in with the white paint. All the rooms are white here. Look too close and you can see outside. It is easy to ignore the darkness most of the time until you remember and glance over there again and again. No figure has appeared yet. Keep glancing again, or all the rooms are white here, or return to main room. All the rooms are white here. That's boring. Vendor notes, paint colors and maintenance. Deck stained summer 2016 Resinal Rocco. Roof painted summer 2015 Resin Nocturnal. Cedar stained summer 2014 Resin Natural. Fence and carport painted summer 2014 Resin Gravel. Lounge hall kitchen and entrance / laundry Resin Spanish White. Bedrooms and bathroom Resin Double Spanish White. Custom made kitchen and laundry by kitchen blah 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 blah. Okay, can I look too close? Oh, that's not even an option. It is easy to ignore the darkness most of the time until you remember and glance over there again and again. No figure has appeared yet. Keep glancing again. The silence of the neighborhood amplifies any sound, as does the vastness of the main room. That's why the knocking was so loud. 1 knock can be ignored. 2, forgivable. 3 knocks won't do. Erratic, but urgent. There was definitely something outside the French doors, larger than an insect, but without the self-awareness of something fully sentient. After the knock stopped for a while, I remained looking at the window. Many more nights of this knocking from an unseen source followed. Sometimes it was missed on the nights it didn't come. Other times glancing at the French doors was upsetting. I didn't want to stare. Quick strides across the room and a moment of courage. The curtains lift and a dusty moth of alien size twists and warps, smearing itself against the glass as its solid thorax knocked the window. The French door is open onto a sagging deck, barely holding up to the constant storms that race across the valley below. Holding on to the edge of the cliff, it joins a narrow pathway that picks its way along the side of the house. Something walks down there at night. Thuds that might be footsteps outside the kitchen. Silence as I listen. The sink ticks over. Nothing is walking yet. The crunch of the dead grass would be unmistakable. How far would it go down the path? Just past the cliffside or down to the metal shed? The hollow footsteps on wood would mean it was on the deck looking through. An open window into my world beyond the black glass and the gauze curtains. I wouldn't look. Alright. A creature untwisting itself in the dry dirt. One day, I opened the cupboard door and saw a mouse. Rather, I opened the cupboard door and expected to see a mouse, as I had heard the close rustling of mice searching for food and was interested in having my suspicions finally confirmed. It was a precious baby mouse. It looked too small. I crouched down. I thought about how easy it would be to crush it, what its bones would feel like snapping, its skull splintering into brain matter. How heavy would the dead body be? I let it eat. Peppermint oil deters mice, did you know that? I blocked up the hole with steel wool soaked in it and sprayed the diluted oil all over for good measure. I wondered if the experience for the mice was more like getting gassed or more like an annoying throat tickle. Alright. Entryway. One wall of the small entryway is covered by winter coats stacked on hooks. Dead leaves are blown into the corners from the opening and closing of the front door. The front door rises up a semicircle of glass looking outward into the driveway, or looking inward. The small bathroom is framed by a tall, frosted, curtainless window that faces the outside world. The shower is pushed up against it. You wash in the heat and the steam between two panes of glass. The windowsill is bare, save for a small plant. At night, a face appears out of the dark. It hovers outside of the blurred glass, not coming close enough for me to really see it. It never does anything but grin. Ugh. Sometimes I take my makeup off and brush my teeth facing the window instead of the mirror, looking out for it. My own reflection is usually all that's there, or the soap scum on the shower door. If I can see it coming, then maybe I'll be able to control it. I don't want to see it out of the corner of my eye. Then it will have the upper hand. The windowsill is bare, save for a small plant. Oh, cool. The warehouse, 133 Torrey Street, Tara, Wellington. It's an artificial Juno succulent. You couldn't even get a real succulent. You had to get an artificial one. Cost you $8.90. Okay, whatever. It's not even a plant. It's a plastic piece of shit. The mirror needs cleaning again. The bathroom mirror reflects the kitchen beyond the hallway where a dark shape stands. Number 1. Always close the door. You don't want to see something behind you, even if it's there. Number 2. Never lock the door. It won't make you feel any safer. 3. Before opening the door, be prepared for what you might see. Number 4. Please never put anything in the bottom drawer of the sink cabinet. The laminate has come unstuck and it is difficult to open. 5. Only hide things in the bottom drawer of the sink cabinet. 6. Never use the heat lamp. 7. Only ever look at yourself in the mirror. Yeah. Oh no, I'm almost out of water. Okay, but number 4 and number 5, I feel like they kind of... I feel like they kind of contradict each other. Never put anything in the bottom drawer, but only hide things in the bottom drawer. So what? You don't want me to put my hairdryer in there, but I can put my drugs in there? Is that what I'm getting from this? Am I supposed to be doing something else here? Oh. Sometimes a face appears at the window. Eyes wide, it looks down into the entryway. There is nothing separating it from you save the flimsy wooden door and the twist of a handle. Skirt by. Don't look. Stack of vinyl and record player. Whoa, something moved. That moved. Enter hallway. I realized I didn't enter the hallway. The hallway is wide enough to stand in with your arms outstretched with tall ceilings, too. Rumor has it there's a false ceiling, hiding 3 extra feet of vanished space. Paneled wooden doors line the left side with one at the end tight shut. That door is kept closed. It's what television shows call a feature hallway, a nice piece of character architecture. It's a hallway that deserves to be haunted. Boudoir. Let's enter the boudoir. The boudoir is a small, pale room. A white vanity table sits at the center, heavy with carved wood. An overstuffed chair and matching stool sit quietly. Everything is close. Dust floats through the sunlight and coats the bottles and jars and fakes flowers piled up on the vanity. On the wall to the side is a portrait with a shimmering gold frame. The portrait is of a pretty young woman. It's here that I lock myself away, starting each morning fixated on my own white face floating in the mirror. The distant birds, lawnmowers, children being wrestled to school on a morning can't get in here. They can't get through the pale curtains and the pale dust. Am I a ghost? My own white face floating? The Honourable Miss Graham, 1757 to 1792. Thomas Gainsborough, English, 1727 to 1788. Oil on canvas. Let's see if I can find this painting online and put it up probably about right here. Born the Honourable Mary Cathcart in 1752, Mary Graham married the Perthshire landowner Thomas Graham at the age of 17. Gainsborough painted many pictures of her, and this portrait in the tradition of Van Dyck was displayed to great acclaim at the Royal Academy in 1777. For most of her adult life, Mary had tuberculosis and was incredibly frail and emaciated. Emaciated? Something. In search of warmer climates and better health, she moved around Europe with her husband. Mary passed away near Nice, France at the age of 32. I think that's how that's pronounced. Her husband chartered a barge to take her body to Bordeaux to be buried, but while aboard the ship it was opened by French soldiers and her remains were molested. Molested like bothered or molested like molested? Her husband ordered her portrait to be hidden away, and it was eventually bequeathed to the National Gallery of Scotland on the condition that it never leaves Edinburgh. Bequest of Robert Graham of Redcourt in 1859, Scottish National Gallery, NG 332. So, the fun thing, tuberculosis used to be called consumption, and it's actually one of the founding ideas of vampirism, because it was thought that anyone who died of tuberculosis or consumption, because it withered you away to nothing, it was thought that it would pass on to other people, or that they would become effectively immortal by absorbing the life force of someone else who had gotten the consumption. So it was thought for a long time that the only way to stop the spread, because tuberculosis is heavily contagious. Anyway, like a lot of people know that. So if one person in the house has it and they stay in the house, chances are that everyone in the house is going to get it anyway. So the thought was that if someone in your house had tuberculosis and you burned them after they died, that it would stop the spread of the consumption, but that wasn't the case. Return to hallway. Feature hallway deserves to be haunted, and a bedroom. The bedroom is the only room that isn't white. Instead, it's a deep purple blue, a warm cave. The dark walls run into the black glass of the window, making it hard to see the figure standing outside. If I forget to close the blinds before sunset, I look for it. Sometimes it's a rush to unfocus my eyes. 3 steps to the window and quickly swivel the blinds shut. Did I see it? Sometimes it's cautious. I look for it. Is it over there, or is that my reflection? What can it see? That's a shadow of a tree outside. I'm up close now, closing the blinds, willing the dark figure to exist. The curtains are dense gray velvet. Close them tight for good measure, but don't knock over the plant. I wonder where the figure goes during the day. How long does it wait for me to come to bed, standing in the dusk with the shadows lengthening around it? In the depths of summer, I leave the curtains open. The air is thick enough without being wrapped in velvet. The old window frames are silhouetted by moonlight, dark crosses shining out throwing patterns on the opposite wall. The plant used to stand in the far corner, almost my height and a bushy fern. It often falls over when it gets upset. Sometimes I dared look up from the bed and peered into that black corner. Glimmers of moonlight from the windows get lost in its fronds. Please note the plant is plastic and formed a pattern around 7 feet off the ground. Look at it in the right way and it's a person. The plant now lives next to the bed and I sleep in the jungle. My boyfriend trips on it when he gets up, but if I look into that corner, the shape is still there. Sometimes complete darkness is preferable. I haven't hallucinated in this city. Back home they happened with increasing frequency, getting worse in the weeks before I moved. A lizard on my pillow next to me rendered in perfect clarity. I very calmly got out of bed, switched on the light, and methodically began to remove all of the dozen or so decorative pillows and cushions I stacked my bed with. Only once they were all on the floor I realized there wasn't a lizard. Often they were just shadows. Half asleep, I'd open my eyes and see someone's knees standing next to the bed. Sometimes it was one of my parents, or a stranger. When I went back for Christmas, I hallucinated again. My boyfriend standing next to the bed, wanting me to wake up. I rolled over and kicked the other boyfriend to see which one was real. It's been a year, though, and no hallucinations here, no sir. I think I've done everything unless something else pops up. Yep. End room. End room? That sounds awful scary. This room is empty. Were you expecting a ghost? The end room has a disconcerting stillness. The hole left by strange furniture that was taken out and never replaced. The thick gray carpet lies like loose skin over the floor, wrinkled in the middle. The heat is magnified by the walls filled with thick insulation like soft pink intestine. The walls here are bright white. Perhaps I should get yellow wallpaper. There is never anything outside the window, just scattered lights in the valley and a hazy pink sky giving way to blackness. There is never anything stirring under the floorboards, just empty boxes for the furniture I keep buying to fill other rooms. Sometimes I look in here to make sure the room is still empty, as it should be. This room sits hanging off the cliff, off the map. A vacant room never used to its full potential. A sign of a future that could have happened but never did. Without a past to be anchored to, it splits off, leaving fragments of itself scattered. You alter the holes. I have memories I've altered. I decided I said a certain thing, moved a certain way, deliberately misremembered a less than graceful moment. I can remember which memories I've changed, but not what the originals were. Conscious forgetfulness. You misremember the heat and the fitful nights and how much you cried, because you can't recall why you were crying, if ever there was a reason. In the summer, when the ghosts come again, you'll misremember it all into words on a page. It's cheaper than therapy, and you're honestly over it now. Humans can only live in places that are haunted. Huh. That was really cool. I don't know if the point of the story was that the person that lives in this house has a mental illness such as schizophrenia or something similar. And I don't know if it's supposed to be actually haunted. But that's what I gathered what she said with the hallucinations and everything. Was that she had a mental illness and then she moved to this house and they died down, but it did not necessarily die down, but maybe the hallucinations and the perceptions changed to ghosts and things like that, because she said she saw a lizard in her old home and people standing next to the bed and everything, and she's not seeing people or lizards or anything like that. She's seeing figures standing outside, but they're never in the house. At least that's not what I understood. That was great. That was really cool. Excuse me. I was genuinely surprised how well it was, how descriptive it was. I actually kind of expected there to be pictures in the background, but I think without the pictures, it adds to the kind of coming up with this stuff yourself and how the house looked and everything, which I really enjoyed. Yeah, check this game out for yourself. It's on itch. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to me if you haven't already. I would appreciate that very much. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Mica_Manticore. See the other stuff that I've done. Check out my SCP playlist. I have a Pokemon Uranium series going, and I want to do some other stuff. I have a friend named Onyx Leviathan who I am currently doing some Minecraft stuff with, so go check him out if you want. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.